Oh, here we go. This episode starts with LeapFrog trying to stop a robbery. Who is he, you might be wondering? He's a dumb idiot that can't do anything right. So, basically, he's no different than anyone else in the show. He fails to beat the robbers, then tries to flee, but ends up setting himself on fire with his jet boots. This brings him to Jennifer, because he wishes to sue Discount Edna for making him a botched suit. Jennifer thinks this is a clear and easy case, but we'll get into why that's absolutely moronic in just a moment. Jennifer asks her boss to get out of the case because she doesn't want to go up against Discount Edna since he's making her clothes. However, boss forces her to take the case anyway, because otherwise there would be no show. It's also revealed here that Frog Idiot's dad is a very rich client, which makes you wonder why he's so desperate to get compensation for the damages to his suit.
I deserve justice and compensation for all of my pain.
I do believe you are owed compensatory damages.
Yeah!
There are other, very good reasons why she shouldn't take this case, but we'll get to that in a moment. Jennifer meets with Discount Edna in a pathetic attempt to get him to come to a settlement without going to trial. However, she acts awkwardly and stupidly, letting Discount Edna walk all over her, then banning her from his store.
How dare you? I've never made a defective suit in all my life. My work is impeccable.
Oh, obviously, I know that firsthand, and trust me, I'm not happy to be doing this.
I'm not trusting you after you just lumbered in here and stabbed me in the back.
Oh, well, there's no lawsuit yet.
The real She-Hulk is supposed to be better than this. They go to trial, and guess what? Matt Murdock is here. And fashionably late to make a grand entrance. He's representing Discount Edna because he's a secret client. Matt and Jennifer get into a debate because Jennifer wishes to review Discount Edna's costumes that he made for his other clients to see if any of them also had malfunctions. To clarify, she doesn't know if other malfunctions exist. She came here hoping to find out if any do. You are a shit lawyer. Meanwhile, Matt argues that Edna's other clients have a right to privacy since his clients are all superheroes. So apparently this underground super tailor is actually public knowledge, which makes this fashion expedition they went on feel like an even bigger waste of time than it previously was. Matt also casually drops the fact that the Sokovia Accords have been repealed.
May I remind you that the Sokovia Accords have been repealed.
Well, alright then. I guess all this shit was a waste of time. Matt then explains the importance of secret identities to the court, which sounds like nails on a chalkboard considering how butchered and mutilated secret identities have become in the MCU. Say that they're relevant when it's convenient, then act like they don't exist and CGI everyone's masks into oblivion during the times where wearing them would be most important. In the end, Daredevil sways the judge and allows Discount Edna's clients to remain hidden. This causes dumb idiot Frog Boy to ruin the entire trial for himself by getting up and ranting about how he needs a new suit because jet fuel burned up his last one. Even though his earlier goal was to just get compensation, if all he wanted was a new suit, then why didn't he just ask for one? The jet fuel reveal is problematic because Discount Edna gave him specific instructions not to use jet fuel, and therefore the malfunction was completely Frog Idiot's fault, and the case is dismissed. Jennifer had no idea about the jet fuel because she is also an idiot and a shit lawyer. You should have absolutely figured that information out before accepting the case. Now you've just made a fool of yourself and an enemy of your tailor. You are so dumb, you don't even realize how dumb you are.
No, I didn't.
He's lying. Don't ask me how I know, I just know.
Yes, we can all tell he's lying, Mr. Murdock.
Oh, please just stop. Do yourself a favor and never write anything ever again. Jennifer grovels at Discount Edna for forgiveness, but he rightfully calls her a clown and blows her off. Afterwards, Jennifer goes to her favorite bar, but Matt Murdock follows her there to make peace.
You came out of nowhere and you made my dumb client admit to being even dumber than I thought he was in court.
No, Jennifer, don't pawn the stupidity off to your dumb idiot client. You are also the dumb one and are equally responsible. Matt then tries to persuade her into doing more hero work before leaving. It's only the semi-final episode, but better late than never.
Excuse me for a moment.
Yeah. We're all feeling this, right? It's not just me.
No, it's just you. Keep your dirty green fingers away from him. It's bad enough that he has to share a screen with you. Jennifer then gets a text from her one bad date that totally isn't evil, and she says this.
Ugh, you remember Todd, that gross tech bro with the She-Hulk fetish?
Excuse me, what fetish? All he did was excitedly ask you about your powers on your short date. Calling that a fetish is quite the leap. You're supposed to show these things. You can't just say them, you sad excuse for a writer. And what about you? By your own logic, you have a Captain America fetish, you creepy pervert. You kept this lock screen even when dating other men. Matt awkwardly says goodbye.
It was really not... It was nice meeting you. See, I think you were dying on the vine of this tight-ass party because Daddy's money can't buy you the one thing you really need. unexpected.
Maybe you're not so dumb.
Jennifer then meets with the totally not evil bad date under the guise of a legal matter, because apparently he bought a Wakandan spear and now Wakanda is trying to get it back. Turns out this guy is stupid rich, but definitely totally not evil.
I love Wakanda. You know, I actually studied abroad there.
Don't act like you're Jim. You need to be relatable to pull that off. However, the legal jargon was all just a ruse for him to try and set up another date with her. She responds by shouting and shoving the table into him.
Okay, and I can feel it, and I can tell that we're both feeling it.
Whoa! No! Goodbye. So, I'm an expert at controlling my anger because I do it infinitely more than you.
She goes home in a dramatic fashion, but then she gets a phone call from a panicked frog idiot. He exclaims that he's being attacked and is begging for help.
Oh, thank God, Miss Walters, it's LeapFrog. Listen, you gotta help me. I think I'm being attacked.
Legally or physically?
Oh, definitely physically, but I mean, maybe legally too.
So she rolls her eyes and begrudgingly agrees to save him. She finds him in a parking garage and wrecks his car for no good reason, like all good heroes do. And wow, it's Daredevil, guys. Alright, so let's address the elephant in the room straight out the gate. His silly looking costume is silly. That may seem redundant to say, but there are defenders out there who use one basic argument. But the comics! My comics! Didn't you read the comics? Puh, look at all those angry casuals who don't know this is a reference to the comics. I just so happen to have also read the comics, so allow me to add some much needed context. This is Daredevil's first costume, which he debuted with in 1964. He wore this costume for 6 issues, retiring it in 1965, because it looks dumb and it doesn't fit his character. By issue 7, he donned his iconic red costume, which he more or less maintained from 1965 to present day. This is Daredevil's costume, not this. I'm a strong believer that the MCU thrives the most when it sticks more closely to the source material, but just because something appears in the comics doesn't make it automatically good. Have higher standards, and don't idolize Easter eggs simply because they exist. She-Hulk is also making her first in-costume appearance. And what else is there to say? She just looks goofy. The costume might be fine if the effects were better, but they're not. Daredevil and She-Hulk then get into a fight because the writing is so good that a simple explanation would sway Jennifer to his side. But Daredevil forgot how to talk, so she needs to beat the explanation out of him. It's not really much of a fight anyway. Daredevil can't physically hurt her, so he just dodges as long as he can until she finally lands a hit. In the spirit of fairness, the choreography looks nice in certain spots, when the goofy CGI isn't getting in the way, of course. It ends with Jennifer taking him down by using the monkey clap.
You're a monkey, dance monkey, in your little spangly shoes.
And he is helpless as she exposes his identity.
Wait, do you pretend to be blind, man? Because that is really
No,
problematic.
I'm blind. Relax.
Yeah, world on fire. I got it. But you can see, right?
Yeah, in a manner of speaking.
The writers joke about their own bad writing.
Why were you attacking my client?
LeapFrog is the bad guy here. He kidnapped Luke Jacobson. He's holding him hostage.
Why didn't you tell me that before we fought?
Why didn't you ask me before immediately trying to whoop my ass?
But being aware of your bad writing doesn't make it okay. Jennifer doesn't recognize who Daredevil is.
So, are you like a superhero? Like the Gold Devil?
I'm Daredevil.
Which is fitting, since the writer often uses Jennifer as a self-insert, and she doesn't know anything. They then make self-aware jokes about his bad costume.
Well, it is very daring to use ketchup and mustard as your color scheme.
Again, just because you're aware doesn't mean it's okay. If you find a problem with your show, fix it, instead of making a half-assed joke. Daredevil explains that Frog Idiot kidnapped Discount Edna in order to make him a new suit. Would have been way easier just to say that before, instead of just making cringy quips.
My ass remains unwhooped.
But hold on, Frog Idiot was so pathetic that he was barely able to hurt 2 Walmart shoplifters. But I guess Discount Edna is just so weak and helpless that he couldn't stop this guy on his own. The real deal would never let that happen. They find Frog Idiot's hilarious hideout and plan their attack on his roof, with a little flirting sprinkled in. And behold, dear viewer, the first moment in this show that made me genuinely laugh.
Oh, I have echolocation, remember? Just let me do my thing.
Yeah, and I will do my thing.
You don't have a thing. You don't ever do this.
It's funny because it's true. She doesn't do anything. There is no show. We then get a decent Daredevil action scene until Jennifer intrudes and reminds us that the glory days are behind us.
She-Hulk smash.
Then they easily defeat everyone else and free Discount Edna, while Frog Idiot goes the way of Mr. Immortal. But he's an idiot, so he can't even do that right. Jennifer and Discount Edna make peace, then she goes to flirt with Daredevil some more. He reveals that he's leaving for New York tomorrow, so of course they have a one-night stand. Matthew, you better be going to confession after this. And now is a good time to point out that this flirty relationship they made goes against everything that Jennifer's character has been building up. She's had a shallow battle with no one liking normal Jennifer while needing She-Hulk to get attention. The entire last episode was all about that. But all of a sudden now she meets Mr. Perfect. He approaches her, flirts with her, and appreciates her for both of her altering forms, while she's done nothing to change whatsoever. Their only interactions before the flirting was her making a complete idiot of herself. She literally just sat around and waited until the right guy finally spawned out of nowhere. It's lazy, it's cheap, and it sends a bad message. We've talked about this at length in the past, but they keep walking us in circles with these same problems. If the whole world is against you and no one likes you for who you are, then that's a good sign that it's time to change, not to get rewarded for doing absolutely nothing. After the one-night stand, we see Daredevil doing the walk of shame. You know, when I first started doing these reviews, I had detractors in the comments asking me why I care, or telling me to go away because this show wasn't made for me, and I'm not the target demographic, so this should be none of my business. Well, this is exactly why I do it. If you want to go out and experiment by making a superhero show about yourself where nothing happens, and cater it directly towards wine moms, then go do that. More power to you. But this current product is a bit more sinister than that. This show is an attempt to make that experiment while hiding behind the She-Hulk name to pretend that it's something that it's not. And in the process, it drags down previously beloved characters like Hulk and Daredevil down to its level, in a desperate attempt to seem acceptable by virtue of association. But in reality, the people who genuinely enjoy these characters never wanted to see them in this way. In order to prevent this from happening again, the people who wish for better things need to make their voices heard, and to make sure that this shameful waste doesn't get seen so that it goes away. Holy shit, there's still 10 minutes left. Oh.
It's weird you guys are still here.
Don't remind me.
Doesn't it feel like this episode should be over?
I would love that. Bestie interrupts to make fun of Daredevil.
There's some guy outside dressed in a devil costume and he's doing the walk of shame.
After any of the ends switching identity. Seriously, what is this scene? This episode already came to a very satisfying conclusion.
Please, stop with the self-aware stuff. It's not okay. You're just padding out the runtime while adding nothing of substance. And you don't want to do the self-aware thing because that means you know what you're doing is bad, but you're keeping it in regardless. Cut this out and please stop wasting everyone's time. Bestie explains that they're going to the gala because it turns out that Jennifer has been nominated for Female Lawyer of the Year. What did she do to earn this? Meh. And Jennifer ponders what big twist might be coming. She worries that something bad might happen, but decides to go anyway because she's an idiot. Here's that big outfit reveal that I said would happen a couple episodes ago. And the totally not evil guys here, along with Jennifer's parents. It's shockingly revealed that Jennifer is the winner of the award, as well as a handful of other women. Disappointed to share the spotlight, too dumb to look up the rules.
What's it like being a female lawyer?
Twice the work, half the recognition, and you're constantly being asked what it's like being a female lawyer.
Fucking shut up!
Jennifer tries to make the award all about herself anyway by ignoring the question and making a speech. But uh-oh, the evil Redditors have finally made their move and reveal a handful of Jennifer's personal information, as well as a video of when she slept with Josh, all out on display for poor old dad to see. Jennifer gets understandably upset and smashes the monitor. However, the show seems to make a villain out of Jennifer for doing this, and everyone panics and runs from her in fear. This would make more sense if people already hated or feared She-Hulk earlier, which I mentioned should be the case way back in episode 2, but for the most part it's been established that the public loves and adores her. So why is everyone afraid of her for having a very normal reaction to a bad situation? If only she listened to Bruce instead of lecturing him. Jennifer notices a crowd of masked hooligans in the corner, but why are there masked hooligans? Your identities are already secret. You're just drawing more attention to yourselves by wearing these masks. She wouldn't have noticed you if you just dressed normally. She-Hulk chases them down, smashes the wall for no reason, and almost catches one. Unfortunately, some high-powered security guards surround her, and she just lets the guy go? You could at least take his mask off first, like you did with Daredevil just a couple minutes earlier. Oh, but that would spoil the reveal for the audience, even though it's obviously this guy. And I guess the security guards are just going to let this clearly suspicious individual just run past them? Okay. Well, as the old saying goes, stupid people create stupid problems. Why did they even write these guys into this scene? They have nothing to offer and just make everything awkward. Just cut them from the script. Jennifer is given a hideous roar. And the episode ends with her surrendering. Oh, yikes. This was something else. But at least we can rest easy knowing that it's almost over.